It's a comfortable perch. But this rainforest in Ghana is in danger. Tropical wood is in demand. It's exported all over the world, and that means to Germany as well.
Sapele is one of the main kinds of wood Africa exports. It was often used as a substitute for genuine mahogany. The color and properties are similar. You can use it in construction, to make expensive window frames, for example, or parquet flooring. It's very widely used. It's one of the most popular kinds of African wood here right now.
The Thunen Institute of Wood Research in Hamburg has a huge collection of different species of wood, 12,000 in all. Gerald Koch tests samples of timber imported to Germany, comparing them to the Institute's collection. His job is to identify endangered species and illegal imports.
We're known as the wood detectives. We have new cases every day.
These samples are being softened up. They're sent in by government agencies, merchants and consumers who want the detectives to find out if their wood has been properly identified, labelled and sourced. Sometimes musical instruments are sent in. After the samples have soaked in water, fine slivers are shaved off for analysis. Gerald Koch can recognize many different species of wood by now, but to be 100% sure, he needs to look at the samples under the microscope. If a product declaration is not correct, that can be a punishable offense. Koch compares the anatomical structure of incoming samples to that of items in the Institute's collection. He says they've never failed to identify a species of wood. Tougher controls on imports in recent years mean more timber is now correctly labelled, but between 10 and 20% still comes with false declarations.
Problems are more common with wood that's been processed, engineered wood, plywood, and the product declarations on garden furniture are often wrong too. We then recommend further provenance research.
It was possible to prove that this piece of mahogany had been stolen. Bernd Degen developed the tools to do so. New samples of African mahogany have just arrived, reference material for gene tests of trees. The genetic identification of timber allows Degen and his colleagues to determine where it comes from.
What we need for genetic analysis is the raw material collected where it actually grew. These samples are part of that. Reference material for the identification of wood samples, in this case wood from Central Africa.
Later on, DNA is isolated from bark and leaves. There are genetic differences between trees of the same species in different locations.
We create a map with our genetic analyses. We correlate the genetics and the countries of origin, if all goes well.
Then false declarations won't wash anymore. You can no longer claim a piece of wood comes from Cameroon if genetic analysis proves it comes from Ghana, a fail-safe method and great new tool in the fight against the illegal lumber trade.
The damage is not just to the environment, but also to the economy of these countries. Their tax yield is reduced if trees are felled in uncontrolled fashion.
The wood detectives have one goal: to boost the sustainable management of tropical forests. Trees should only be felled if new ones will spring up in their place.